One of the joys of having your own show on television is getting to invite your friends over to do your favorite songs. Here's my all-time favorite song by my all-time favorite singer and songwriter, Michael Johnson. Bluer Than Blue, especially for you on Heart to Heart.
After you go, I can catch up on my reading. After you go, I'll have a lot more time for sleeping. When you're gone, looks like things are gonna be a lot easier. Life will be a breeze, you know. I really should be glad, but I'm bluer than blue, sadder than sad. You're the only light this empty room has ever had, and life without you is gonna be bluer than blue. After you go, I'll have a lot more room in my closet. I never really understood that line. After you go,
You know she's gonna have her own closet.
if I feel like it. And when you're gone, I can run through the house naked. No one will ever see me. I really should be glad, but I'm bluer than blue, sadder than sad. You're the only light this empty room has ever had. Life without you is gonna be bluer. I don't have to miss no TV shows. I can start my whole life over, change the numbers on my telephone, but the nights will sure be colder, and I'm bluer than blue, sadder than sad. You're the only light this empty room has ever had. Life without you is gonna be bluer than blue, bluer than blue, bluer than.
I love that song. How you doing, Michael? It's so good to have you come
Well,
over.
I'm well. Good to
Been
see
a
you.
while since we visited.
Been a few years, yeah.
But you're looking good. You're sounding great.
Well, thank
That
you.
song, you'll have to excuse me. That song just puts me in a reverie, man. This puts me in a mood, unbelievable.
Oh.
Some songs, you know, touch you in special ways, and that song is a special song to me. You sang it for me in some special times in my life.
Well, I appreciate that.
And that song means a lot to me, son. And it means a lot to me to have you come over here and share it on Heart to Heart.
My pleasure,
How you
believe me.
doing? How's your family?
They're fine. They're fine. They're taller. You know, my kids are.
Got bigger?
They got beards and canes now. They're 13 and 10 years old.
Yeah,
so they're-
Scotty's 7. My little boy Scotty's
Yeah.
got 7. I was reading my mail the other day. You know me, I'm always getting on television saying, write to me, let me know what you want to hear. And the people out there that watch Americana write to me, and I love it. So I was reading this particularly sweet letter from this lady over in South Carolina, and I'm reading it, and so I just decided I want to call her and thank her. So I call her information, get her number, and I call her, and she answers the phone, and we start talking, and she says, yeah, you know, I remember one time you were sitting playing on Heart to Heart, and Michael Johnson did Bluer Than Blue, and then she said, and then remember the time that you were playing with Ronnie Reno and little Scotty come dancing on the set, and he was just about a year and a half old, and she started going through all his wonderful remembrances, you know, and went on and on and on. She said, you know, Stan, you know, I've really got some wonderful memories together, don't we? And that just knocked me out.
And that'd be music to
Isn't
my
that
ears
wonderful?
right there.
You know, that
Yeah.
we've shared some experiences, some musical experiences.
That's the beauty
of being an artist and a performer like yourself. And, you know, we get to meet people and hopefully touch them a little bit, or maybe if you move somebody, and when it comes back to you, it's like, well, all I did was sing my song, you know. It's a wonderful feeling.
We're going to share some memories right here on Heart to Heart. My favorite style of Michael Johnson is just sitting, listening to you sit with your guitar, man.
Oh, thanks. It's what I feel like I usually do, even on the records.
Was that how you started out? I mean, did you start out as a balladeer with, you know?
Actually, no, I started out playing.
Really?
Yeah. And then my brother told me about the other 4 strings.
You've got such an amazing style of playing. You get so much music out of your guitar. By the way, that's a new guitar. Didn't look like the same guitar that you had last time I saw you.
Yeah.
You want to tell about that?
Would I like to talk about it? Yeah, I drove over my guitar.
Nobody drives over their guitar, Michael. It's not something you do. How did this happen?
Well, it's a long story, but I had everything I owned in this little Carmen Ghia, which is sort of like a pretend car, you know. And I was just coming out in Nashville at the airport, coming off onto I-40 there, and I heard the canvas case sliding out the door. It was sort of like that kind of sound. And thump, not thump thump, because that would have been the front and the back. This was just thump. And you know, I still have some tire treads on the case. And Sally, my wife, you know Sally.
Oh yeah, beautiful lady.
She says every now and then, she says, I don't know why you're still trying so hard to get those tire treads off that guitar case. Because I'm the laughing stock of town. That's
what kind of guitar is it? What's the brand name?
It's called a Kono.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful guitar, and it's such a tone.
Thanks. Yeah, in the classical world, it's a famous name like Martin or Gibson or Ovation or those, you know, but...
Acme or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Jackson.
Equal time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that you're from the, the Minneapolis area originally?
Well, I spent my second 20 years there.
Yeah.
I'm originally a Colorado boy.
Colorado, I know originally, but you went from there to, tell me about it. Tell me about the transition, the history of the journey of Michael Johnson.
Well, you mean like just in my car or musically or?
I don't want to talk about running over no more guitars.
No. I lived in my car for a while.
You were a true troubadour, weren't you?
Sure. There was a folk circuit. There really was back in those days, you know.
Jerry Jeff Walker.
Oh, yeah.
And name some of them that were on the circuit.
Well, Josh White Sr., you know, Judy Collins, of course.
Yeah.
And, well, several other acoustic people, Tom Rush and a lot of those guys. Jerry Jeff, absolutely. Guy Clark. The Towns Van Zandt. Yeah. The Texas faction. But, yeah, there was a circuit, and it's true there was maybe 500 miles between clubs, but you got in your car and drove to the Exit Inn in Nashville or to the Exodus in Denver or to the, you know, places in Chicago. And
were you writing early on? Did you start writing first and develop into a performer, or vice versa?
No,
you told me once that you started writing this when you were just a kid, that you wrote some stuff when you were just a kid.
You know, Danny Beadle is my childhood friend. I was 10 and he was 11 when he moved away. And I'll never forget, we got in a fight on his lawn in Denver there. And I saw him like 3 years ago. And not since that day. And we got together and he said, do you remember when you told me that you wrote Found a Peanut? And I said, no, but obviously I was full of it even then, you know, way back, man. So I don't know what I told you, Stan. She is fixed in his mind like the picture he's kept in his wallet for years, and the image has never been tarnished by the blood, the sweat, and the tears.
to him it appears that the moon is still over her shoulder, and the ribbon is still in her hand. He can still see her dancing, and the music is still in the air. Sometimes he finds it's amazing that all of his children are wed or belong, son, when their mother is still turning 18 and turning his head. I know it won't be happy. She still turns his head, and the moon is still over her shoulder, and the stars are still falling above. And she never gets 1 minute older, and he is still falling in love. Her shoulder, and the stars are still falling above. And she never gets 1 minute older, and he is still falling in love.
Some moods that those songs do.
You know, when first time I played that for my mom, she said, "Oh, I wish that was true."